Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to President's Convocation in this bicentennial year. We're so excited to have you here and be with you. At this point, I'd like to introduce our college chaplain, Reverend Maddie Russo.
Good morning. Would you join me in this invocation? Gracious and loving Holy One, we gather today with grateful hearts as a centenary community, students, faculty, staff, trustees, alumni, and friends. We give thanks for this brand new year, for the energy of learning, and for the hope that fills this place. We especially welcome the newest members of our community, the students who are beginning their centenary journey. May they find here a home of belonging, challenge, and joy. Surround them with mentors and friends who will encourage them and give them courage to grow into all you are calling them to be. Bless our president, our leaders, and all who share in this work of guiding the college. Be present with us now as we dedicate this convocation to wisdom, growth, and the flourishing of all. Amen.
Okay, I'd like for you to find that red book that's in the rack in front of you. Turn to number, can't read it, 159? 139. Sing out heartily, praise to the Lord the Almighty.
I want to welcome our students, faculty, staff, Board of Trustees members, and honored guests to the 2025 President's Convocation. What a beautiful fall day to open our fall term. An important, okay, whoever stole the step back here, not nice. Do what?
There's a button on the base of the
Oh, is it not working?
at the very bottom.
Oh, better. Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. I really appreciate that. That'll save my voice. An important tradition of this convocation is the presentation of the Honor Code book. According to our archivist, Chris Brown, the Honor Court and Honor Code were established at Centenary in 1942. Article 1 of the current Honor Code states, "The Honor Code is intended to foster a spirit of dignity and personal integrity." The September 25th, 1942 conglomerate reported that each incoming student signed the Honor Pledge for the first time that fall. We have continued this demonstration of commitment to personal integrity each year since, and I'm so pleased to accept from Chief Justice Savannah Arevalo the Honor Book, which now contains the signatures of our class of 2029. honored to work with and introduce President Christopher L. Holloman, the 31st president of Centenary College. Since his inauguration in 2017, President Holloman has accomplished many things, and you can read about some of these in the program. But I think most importantly, President Holloman has truly led and continues to lead the college in navigating a world in turmoil and has helped to ensure the next 100 years of Centenary College. Accomplishments that you won't read about, but that are a foundation of his leadership include transparency that cultivates trust, respect that builds community, the courage to speak and to act, and the wisdom to listen. Friends, as President Holloman will often address you, friends, be wise and listen. President Holloman.
Simmer down. Thank you, Dr. Soul. It's an honor to work with my faculty and staff colleagues as well as all the students. It's a true joy. I want to welcome all of you to this President's Convocation in this very special 200 year. I want to extend a special welcome to 3 of our Board of Trustees members. Sometimes there's a little bit of confusion as to who the trustees are. They're my bosses, but they make sure that the college is headed in the right direction and keep us moving in the right direction and on the right track, and are faithful supporters of the college in many ways, and I'm really grateful. It's a busy time of year. Not everybody's back from their summer retreat from the heat, but I'm very grateful to the trustees that are here. Welcome to this wonderful space, Brown Chapel. Thanks to all that participated to make this happen. Thanks to Dr. Watson, who always gives us such amazing music on the organ. Thanks to the choir. Check out their spiffy new robes. I want to thank the Student Government Association, who was instrumental in making those new robes happen. So thanks to the SGA. Convocations, as I try to say every year, have a long history. They go back to the 1500s. They're used for all sorts of things, college foundings and new presidents, but the thing that they're most often used for is what we're doing today, the start of a new academic year. We welcome you into this community of scholars, a community that has learning as its highest value and its prime goal. We have at least 3 convocations every year: President's Convocation, the Founders Day, and of course commencement is a convocation. Those are the 3 where we put on our regalia and really celebrate what it means to be part of a centuries-long tradition of higher education. This is also the last, or at least one of the last, official events of the orientation calendar. So this event is really largely aimed at our first-year students, but I'm so grateful and so thankful for our upperclassmen who have turned out for this. It means a lot to all of us, so thank you. I hope to our first-year students, I hope you've been made to feel welcome and are excited, not too overwhelmed about the year and the years to come at Centenary. Over the years, I've used this as an opportunity to talk about a number of topics. Sometimes they're things that I think as a community we need to pay attention to. A few years ago, we talked about empathy, the need to see each other as people with their own joys and pain, and really lean into that idea of each other as community. Sometimes there are observations about where we're going, where we are on our journey. Most of them, I am asking you to be mindful during your time at Centenary. Mindfulness is kind of buzzy these days, and for good reason, I think. With everything that's going on around us, it can be tempting just to shut it all out, or try to at least, to keep our heads down and plod through life. But I think that's a very dangerous instinct. Certainly understandable, but if nothing else, you'll miss out on a lot. You know, we all fall guilty to the trap of traveling along. Some of you are on bus tours maybe this summer, or you'll be and you realize, or you're in the car and you realize you've got your head down in your phone and you've missed some wonderful piece of wildlife on the side of the road. My wife teases me because I love to see the wild turkeys and whatever you pass by. It's important to be mindful. I usually in this talk find a way to work in the quote from a great philosopher, one of my favorite quotes, who wrote that, Martin Buber, all journeys have secret destinations of which the traveler is unaware. If we're not mindful as we go through this, we'll miss those secret destinations. And being mindful, I think, is particularly important for you here and now in this time and place. Last year in this talk, I talked about the concept of liminal spaces. L-I-M-I-N-A-L, not lemon like the fruit, liminal, the between times. College is an important between times. Liminal spaces are the in-between moments in life, the halfway between where you are and where you're going. They can be actual physical spaces, and once you start paying attention to them, you find them all over the place. So fortunately, we don't have these, I don't think, at the Shreveport airport yet, but a lot of airports now, as you're exiting the airport, you have to go through one set of doors and stop and wait for the next set of doors to open. You're in this weird kind of middle space. You're not in or out. Liminal spaces are all around us, doorways, of course, as we transition. But they're not just spaces, they're times. The uncertainty after a relationship breaks up. The uncertainty the time before your next job offer, during a transition. College itself, as we talked about last year, and I realize many of you weren't here, college itself is one of the ultimate liminal spaces between adulthood and adolescence. Liminal spaces are sacred. They're sacred. They're where you question, reflect, and reimagine. They're where you learn to sit with uncertainty and then move forward. Standing in that airport door, you always wonder, is it actually going to open, or are they going to come for me? Well, it opens and we move forward. This is good news, right? Centenary is a time and place for you to accomplish those tasks. It's not high school, it's not work, it's not home, but you're not completely on your own. This is a time and place for you to explore new people and new ideas. We need to acknowledge that those spaces can be uncomfortable. You're not who you were, but you're not yet who you're becoming. Today I want to focus on one particular aspect, or one particular use, I should say, of this time and place as a liminal space. I want to talk to you about something that has shaped the course of history, transformed lives, and continues to be a spark behind virtually every great achievement: the power of a dream. In some ways, this may seem like the opposite of mindfulness. Mindfulness, I guess we're asked to sort of be realistic or something, and dreams, dream. Dream has a lot of different meanings, and some of those dreams are abstract, but some of them are concrete, some of them are short-term, some of them are long-term. I want to suggest to you today that liminal spaces are where dreams are forged. And I want you to be mindful of that process. I started thinking about this about a month ago when I read something written by John Maxwell, who's a prolific author on leadership and so forth. And Maxwell wrote the following: I believe that each of us has a dream placed in the heart. I'm not talking about wanting to win the lottery. That kind of idea comes from a desire to escape our present circumstances, not to pursue a heartfelt dream. I'm talking about a vision deep inside that speaks to the very soul. It's the thing we were born to do. It draws on our talents and gifts. It appeals to our highest ideals. It sparks our feelings of destiny. It is inseparably linked to our purpose in life. The dream starts us on the success journey. Dream does many things for us. A dream gives us direction. It increases our potential. It helps us prioritize, something we all need desperately from time to time. A dream adds value to our work, purpose. And a dream gives us insight into our future. I'll talk a little bit about some of those here some more. Dreams have power. It's not an accident that possibly the most famous speech of the 20th century is, "I have a dream." Let me start with a simple truth. Almost every great thing that has ever happened, has ever been accomplished, began as a dream, a vision, a whisper in someone's heart that says, "What if?" So just a few observations about dreams. Dreams are the blueprint of possibility. Almost everything around you, this building, your phone, the music you love, started out as someone's dream in someone's mind. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, "I have a plan." He was familiar with the aphorism, if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. He said, "I have a dream," because dreams are what ignite the soul. Dreams have power. And second point, your dreams don't have to be loud to be powerful. I'm not asking you, although you certainly may, and more power to you, your dream doesn't have to be to change the world, but to change your world, to graduate, to create, to lead, to heal. Those are enough. Those are more than enough, and those are powerful. Dreams require courage. It's not obvious necessarily that that's true. The dreams we have at night, those are different than what we're talking about, obviously, but that's easy. Dreaming is easy. Chasing a dream takes courage. You'll face doubt. You'll hear people have already told you, I suspect, "Oh, that's impossible. You can't possibly do that." But remember, it takes courage to dream because dream involves a potential leap of faith, moving away from the shore of stability, letting go of the status quo. It's much more comfortable to stay where we are every day, live into the status quo, and without the courage to dream, you will stay there in the same place, the same situation, the same circumstances, and allow others to dictate your future. Change can be uncomfortable, but it requires the end of something. And sometimes those endings can be painful. But all new beginnings have to be preceded by an ending, even the painful ones. Treading water keeps you where you are. Swimming takes you to the next shore. There's a video game I learned about recently that has as its tagline, "Courage is the magic that turns dreams into reality." Courage is the magic that turns dreams into reality. But next, dreams need action. A dream without action is just a wish. So today I want to encourage you, take the first step. Start messy, start scared. Just start. I'm going to leave for another day with me, or perhaps with some of your faculty members, maybe some of your staff support, to think about the distinction between the relationship between dreams and goals. And that's an interesting conversation to have, and how we think through that dynamic. But dreams need action. Next, I want to emphasize that your dream can change. Your dream will change. Dreams evolve. You grow, you fail. You learn, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep dreaming, because your dreams will change. Lord knows I did not dream when I was in college of being a college president. I don't know very many. I do actually know a couple that did, but you probably don't want to know them. Your dreams change. There's one of the folk songs that made Joni Mitchell famous. Joni Mitchell, an old folk singer. I know all my cultural references are very dated these days, but one of her early hits was a song called "The Circle Game." about how our plans evolve, and the last line is, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. Your dreams change because you change. Your dreams change because your circumstances change. You know, the famous philosopher Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And sometimes we don't notice our dreams coming true. A couple of years ago, I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Martin's class, and we read an essay by a woman, famous author Mary Catherine Bateson, about composing a life story, recognizing that when you talk to old people like me, we quite possibly tell our life story as if it was this coherent, wonderful journey along, and it all makes sense. In reality, none of us go through life that way. Life is messy. We make order, we make sense of it in the rearview mirror. Pursuing your dream requires flexibility. It requires the ability to change. But I also want to, as I close this particular section, I want to ask us to be mindful of dreams coming true along the way. You will learn, if you don't already know, that it is a rare speech talk of mine that doesn't end up having one or more movie references, and I actually have several, but I'm going to, for this topic, but I'm going to focus on one. Unfortunately, it's now considered an old movie, I guess, but many of you have seen the movie Field of Dreams. And at the end, the character of Ray Kinsella's father, who has come back to life, if you will, he says, is this heaven? And Ray Kinsella says, no, this is Iowa. And Ray Kinsella says to his father, is there a heaven? He says, oh yes, it's the place where dreams come true. And Ray Kinsella turns around and he sees his beautiful farmhouse and his lovely family laughing on the front porch, and he says, maybe this is heaven. Be mindful that your dreams can come true, sometimes while we're not even paying attention. Next, I want to emphasize that as you pursue this dream, you are not alone. Look around this room. This room is full of dreamers. Some are just beginning. Some are struggling. Some are soaring. But all of us are on this journey together. And if there's a through line of my talks here over this is my 10th, it's about journeying. In fact, if I ever pull these notes together, I think that will be the title, is Reflections on Journeying or something. You do travel most of life with others, and you learn about things from others. You learn about people when you travel with them that you don't in any other way. We just, Connie, my wife and I, got back from a vacation with some old friends, some of our oldest friends in the world. But for some of us, it was the first time we had traveled together. And Lord knows you learn things about people you travel with, good and bad. When traveling together, you'll learn about shared goals and shared interests. This idea of being companions on a journey is a powerful one. I won't take any time really to explore that today. I just mentioned, and some of you have heard this before, a number of years ago I was on a board of the United Methodist Church, and it only met 4 times a year, really only once a year in intense time. And it was really hard work, and it was really intense, and it was important. People's careers were on the line. And the chair of that committee always brought us together saying, companions on the journey. And that always stuck with me. This idea of the people we're traveling with is powerful. Finally, I want to suggest to you, I just want to ask you to do something. And that's simply to dare to dream. You're in this liminal place. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of the time you have to explore. You're in a season of waiting, of not knowing, of becoming. Don't rush it. There was an essay in the Wall Street Journal about 3 weeks ago that generated a lot of commentary from a young man. He's 22, I think he said. He's already founded 2 companies worth over $20 million. And he talked about how he was successful because he prioritized his time and he was single-mindedly focused, that he was going to take advantage of this time of his life. And the reaction from, at least judging by the letters to the editor and the people I've talked to about it, said, well, he may have been successful in some respects, but boy, his life sounds miserable. He prioritizes everything. He doesn't have any friends that he doesn't think will help him professionally. He doesn't do anything that he thinks won't profit him really in the short run. It's a hard choice. It's a difficult road to walk, but you've got this amazing opportunity for your time here. This space is shaping you. This space is preparing you. It's preparing you for a dream that you haven't even fully seen yet. So here's my challenge to you. Dare to dream, especially when it's hard, especially here and now in this liminal space, because that's where the magic happens. Thank you. Thank you. At this point, I'd ask you to stand for our benediction and remain standing and sing out loud the alma mater. At that point, listen, wait, we're not quite done. Dean Miller has asked me to remind you that if you rush right over to Randall's or the CAF, it's going to be the crowdedest it will be this whole year. If you don't have anywhere to go, wait half an hour and the lines will die down. I will also ask you, when we're done with the alma mater, please wait for the academic procession to leave so that we can greet you outside, and your fellow students, I know, are looking forward to greeting you, but let the faculty go first. So with that, our benediction and our alma mater.
Thank you, President Holloman. Friends, go forth from this place in gratitude and in hope. May the spirit of wisdom guide your thoughts, the spirit of courage strengthen your actions, and the spirit of love shape your lives. As we leave this convocation, may we be mindful and carry with us the vision of a community rooted in integrity, dedicated to learning, and committed to doing good in this world. May we go with gratitude for the community we share and with hope for the year ahead. And may we step forth in courage, daring to dream and journey together. Amen.